December 9th could be the most important day of Peter Yan's professional mixed martial arts career as he goes against Song Yadong. Now, why do I say it's so important? This is must win for Peter Yan. Now, will he get cut if he loses? I don't think so, but he will not be taken seriously as a title contender if he loses another fight. You know, he fights on confidence, and his confidence would have to be at an all-time low. Lost to Aljamain Sterling, lost to Sean O'Malley, lost to Marab Davashishvili, and if he was to go on there and lose to Song Yadong viciously or just getting beat down for a couple rounds, then who knows where his confidence level would be at as a fighter. So this is generally must win for Peter Yan here against Song Yadong. It's a really dangerous fight for both men. It's more so dangerous for Peter Yan when you think about the circumstances that could go behind this with a loss. You know, Song Yadong's 25 years old. He's young. If he loses this, he doesn't really lose anything. But Peter Yan, everything's on the line for Peter Yan here. And it's a lot of pressure on a guy on a free fight losing streak, I'll tell you that much. But looking at the fight, I do think this fight is very winnable for Peter Yan. I'm going to assume that Song Yadong will end up being the favorite in this fight because of Peter Yan's losing streak. But I can see Peter Yan winning this, if I'm being honest. Now, we've seen Song Yadong lose to Corey Sandhagen by doctor stoppage with a cut. You know, Peter Yan, the way he puts beatings on people, I could see him opening up that cut. Now, that's not the only reason I'm going to say that Peter Yan's got a shot here. I just think his style of boxing, I think he can really frustrate Song Yadong in there. We've seen Song Yadong be figured out by Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips put a pretty bad beating on him. And then arguably, he lost to Cody Stamen. Then he arguably lost to Marlon Vera. Obviously, he's a different fighter now, but, the guys he's knocking out, Marlon Moraes, not known for his chin. Ricky Simone, not known for his chin, Uriah Faber knocked this guy. No, Uriah Faber got his first win by KO in the UFC. And he was about 40 years old in that fight, so I don't think Ricky Simone's the most durable guy either. I think Marab Davashishvili rocked him a few times as well. So I honestly, I do think Song Yadong is a very powerful and talented fighter, but I don't know how crazy his power really is. Just because the guys he's knocking out, none of them are really known for their durability. He did knock out Julia Arce. He was pretty durable. That was his first knockout loss or TKO loss, so that's a good win there. But I think stylistically this is a really good matchup for Peter Yan. I'm gonna pick Peter Yan in this fight. When you look at the way Peter Yan's losing these fights, he's getting both Aljamain Sterling, he's getting backpacked. That fight could have gone either way too. That fight wasn't like a complete one-sided fight by any means, him versus Aljamain Sterling in the rematch. I think I give it to Aljamain, but only give him 3 rounds to 2. I think it was close, and you could arguably give that to Peter Yan as well. And then Sean O'Malley, really close fight. And Sean O'Malley, I think, is arguably the best striker in the bantamweight division. Maybe he's in the top. He's one of the top 5, top 10 best strikers in the UFC currently. He's a bantamweight. The bantamweight division is just so skilled, and just Sean O'Malley is such a skilled striker. And Peter Yan was giving him some trouble in that fight. Put up a way better fight than Aljamain Sterling did against Sean O'Malley. Obviously, styles make fights. But I think stylistically, he's only losing the grapplers. Like Marab Davashishvili overwhelmed Peter Yan with his grappling, shooting missed takedowns. Like Peter Yan's got solid takedown defense. It's just Marab has such a pace that he can just shoot missed takedown after, stuff takedown after stuff takedown and then use that to land strikes. Like it was a very dominant performance from Marab Davashishvili in that, but Song Yadong doesn't have that style. And I think Peter Yan still does really good against strikers. He beat Corey Sandhagen after the DQ loss to Aljamain Sterling in a very, very great performance there. And I think with his style, and I could honestly see Peter Yan getting Song Yadong down with some takedowns. Song Yadong's got great takedowns against actual like wrestlers, but I think with Peter Yan, he's got such good striking that he can throw you off of the striking and then get you down. And I think he could have a lot of success using his wrestling in this fight. Like Song Yadong stuffed 15 takedowns from Corey Sandhagen, and Corey Sandhagen only did get one takedown in that fight, but I think Peter Yan is a much better wrestler than Corey Sandhagen. I think because of how dangerous his striking is, I could generally see him mixing it up and getting Song Yadong down. I think he's got good elbows as well. I could see him rocking Song Yadong. Song Yadong's got a really good chin, but he has been knocked out before. He's not like indestructible. He's got that cut that Corey Sandhagen capitalized on. I could see Peter Yan opening that back up with the way he fights. He shows no mercy. He's going for elbows. He's going to go for like all that stuff in the pocket. Obviously, very dangerous to be in the pocket with Song Yadong with how powerful he is. But I could just see in the clinch as well, uh, Peter Yan using them elbows off the clinch to rock or open up cuts. I can just see Peter Yan having so much success in this fight. Like I think this is a really good matchup. It's a dangerous one though. Song Yadong is very powerful. He's very young. He's going to constantly improve in there. But I really do think this is a good matchup for Peter Yan. Now for sorry, not Corey Sandhagen, for Song Yadong here, he's going to be going for the knockout here, I would imagine. And Peter Yan hasn't been finished as a professional, but he has been knocked out as an amateur. He got spinning back fist KO'd as an amateur against a Georgian fighter. I can't quite remember his name off the top of my head, but I do remember seeing a clip of it. It was in a ring, but he was much younger then, and I don't think Song Yudong is going to be able to catch Peter Yan that same way. Peter Yan's still got really good defense. When he doesn't have to deal with takedowns as well from like a Marab Willie, I think this is going to be a fight where Peter Yan, especially because it is a 5 rounder, it is going to be the main event for the China card in Shanghai. So with that also being a factor, I know obviously he lost to Marab, but Marab is just like he could go for 10 rounders. He's got some of the best cardio in the UFC. But stylistically here, I think him having such like 5 rounds to work against a striker like Song Yadong is really going to benefit him here. I think he's going to find his rhythm, and I think he is going to win this. But it's such a dangerous fight, and there's going to be so much more pressure on Peter Yan, in my opinion. Maybe there'll be a lot of pressure on Song Yadong. He's fighting in his home country. He's bringing an event to China. It's going to be built around him. That could maybe add some pressure onto Song Yadong. So it won't be his first main event, though. He main evented against Corey Sandhagen, main evented against Ricky Simone. So maybe there'll be less pressure. He's already had to do the main events and everything. But like I still think this is going to add so much pressure onto Song Yadong. But I still think Peter Yan's the man who's got more pressure on him. Just he he is fucking on a 3-fight losing streak. Went from being arguably one of the greatest bantamweights. He was building up such a great resume. Destroyed Jose Aldo. Was on his way to beating Aljamain Sterling. Like it's crazy that one illegal knee has completely shifted his career to where it is now. Like when you think about it, the whole butterfly effect, it turns into if he didn't illegally knee Aljamain Sterling, who knows if Sean O'Malley would have ended up as champion. Like it is crazy that this like little fucking illegal knee has like created such a crazy universe with where the UFC bantamweight division has ended up. But I think this will be the one where Peter Yan bounces back. He could lose this. I'm not like completely saying this is a lock that Peter Yan's going to win, but I just think his style of striking is going to have a lot of success against Song Yadong. I think he's also going to mix it up to the body a lot with his kicks. Song Yadong's very compact, a very strong, muscular bantamweight, 25 years old. Like, who knows if he's going to be at bantamweight his whole career? I could see he has fought it. I believe he even fought as high as lightweight. Let me just double check that. I know he's fought at featherweight before, but I think he's even fought at lightweight. I could be wrong there, but I know for sure he was a featherweight. Yeah, so he fought at lightweight. in 2017. So I wouldn't be surprised if the weight cut to bantamweight's pretty hard for him. He is a pretty muscular guy, so maybe he's still very young though, so maybe I'm just yapping on. But I think maybe even the weight cut, because Peter Yan's not like a guy who's really cutting a lot of weight. Like I think Peter Yan realistically could make flyweight, but I think that he probably just doesn't want to. I think his durability and all that sort of stuff, his cardio and everything are weapons, and if he's doing a big weight cut to flyweight, it might be a bit harder. But yeah, I think Song Yadong's, because he's going to be so much bigger, probably the weight cuts are probably harder on him. So, if Peter Yan mixes it to the body a lot and a lot, that could really break down Song Yadong, slow him down a lot, maybe gas him out. Song Yadong seems good everywhere, but I just think this is the fight where Peter Yan gets it done, like I say. But if Song Yadong gets this one done, I think stylistically, Song Yadong is like a really hard matchup for like Marab, Willie and Umar Nurmagomedov. I generally think that. I think like his takedown defense is great. He's powerful as well. Like Peter Yan was stuffing the takedowns from Marab, but he's not as powerful as Song. But I think if Song was to win this, like he could actually give them like wrestlers, the Dagestani type wrestler, the Georgian wrestler, and Marab Willie. I think he could give them problems, honestly, especially with how explosive he is. But we'll see how this fight goes. Even if Song Yadong does lose to Peter Yan, I think he's got a very bright future. He's still very good. 25 years old, and he's already up, in the top 10 at bantamweight, like the best, the highest skilled division, arguably in the UFC. Very impressive, like really impressive. So I think, however this fight goes, I'm hoping this isn't it for Peter Yan though, because Peter Yan's a very entertaining fighter. It'd be a shame for his career to go down this trajectory. But I think he's going to win this, but yeah, it's a dangerous fight, dangerous fight. I was hoping they would do like Peter Yan versus Rob Font, but obviously then Rob Font versus Davison Figueiredo got announced. But yeah, man, crazy fight. I guess it's all killer fights in the bantamweight division, but must win. This is generally must win for Peter Yan, so I guess we'll find out how he does December 9th in China. Peter Yan's quarter Chinese, half Chinese. His last name is Chinese, so it'd be interesting to see if he gets any respect there, given he's got some Chinese heritage. But yeah, Song Yadong will definitely be the crowd favorite. But if you made it this far, make sure you give this video a like, leave a comment, share the video, subscribe, put on the notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video.